Let's go through a quick run-through of the game's features and show you what makes the game unique from other block-based games. As you can see, the world is massive and detailed. It could take hours just to explore a tiny fraction of the world. Everything in the world is destructible, from the tree stumps to the shrubs and the terrain itself. The engine uses a real-time physics and lighting system to give the player an immersive experience. The game engine can superimpose the grid system on top of a cylindrical tree mesh and divide it up dynamically. Using this technique, trees can be destroyed in an infinite combination of ways. Emerald also has the concept of contained blocks. So, for example, the tree roots can be contained within terrain blocks. Once revealed, they themselves can also be destroyed and harvested for resources. Projectiles in the game can be recovered if the player knows where they hit. When aiming at trees, the engine again uses the cylinder-based system for collision detection of the projectiles. The engine's cylindrical mesh system is also applied in other instances, like with this log cabin. In a sense, the engine sees this cabin as a bunch of horizontal trees put together. Any attribute of the tree system can be applied to the building, including dynamic destruction, color selection, and even the way it does the level of detail scaling. The player can even jump on the roof of the building and cut an entrance through it, effectively surprising any players or enemies inside. The world of Emerald is expansive, consisting of hills and valleys, rivers, lakes, and huge mountains. Exploration is key, as different parts of the world hold unique treasures. The world itself is generated procedurally and will be different every time. However, key areas in the world will always be in the same position. In these key areas, players can meet and team up. Once in a group, the invited player will inherit their group's world and be able to explore, mine, level, and quest with them. The subterranean world is also generated procedurally, but will have unique areas and dungeons. Exploring the underground world can yield unique items and allow you to find and mine precious resources. Emerald has a unique water system. All of the water in the world is finite, and any volume of water moved will displace water in the entire water source. You could even cut a hole under a lake and drain an entire lake if you have a big enough basin. If water is exposed to a drop, it will create a waterfall. You can explore the depths of the lakes and rivers to discover unique items. Emerald is a living, breathing world with a day and night and weather system. To explore at night, the player can light a bonfire to light the surroundings. When deep in a cave, the player's trusty lantern will be invaluable to light the way through the darkness. The map window shows a bird's-eye representation of the world, which is revealed as the player explores. Any changes to the terrain are updated on the map in real time. The map can be zoomed in or zoomed out. Zooming out far enough will show the player's position in the world. Although the world is randomly generated, it will still conform to the coastlines, rivers, and landforms of the larger world. The equipment window shows the tremendous amount of customization for the player's equipment, with 16 equipment slots. Emerald Online has a unique crafting system. Any surface, inventory item, or interactive equipment in the world can potentially become a crafting container. For example, clearing a 2x2 area on the ground opens up a crafting window. Items can be combined to create things like a bonfire. The bonfire can then itself become an interactive container to craft items. The anvil can be used to craft weapons and tools like a lantern or compass. The compass is an example of a tool that adds a heads-up display to aid the character. The lantern is an example of an item that itself becomes a combinable container. Combining lantern fuel with a lantern produces a lit lantern. The equipment window has the option to change quickly from mining to adventure player builds. Enemies spawn all over the world, becoming more and more challenging as the player explores and reaches areas of higher difficulty. The battle and advancement system allows the player to advance in classic RPG style. As the player levels, they'll acquire more and more skills to aid them in battle. But to keep the battle system interesting, fun, and fluid, most skills are passive and preset before battle, as seen here with the fire arrow, which allows the player to concentrate more on surroundings and movement. The player is freed from having to mindlessly click hotkeys in an endless pattern. The world is littered with collectibles. Ancient coins can be found just lying on the ground. Once found, they can be entered into the treasure interface by studying them. Completing a full collection leads to great rewards. Hidden in grass and on trees are various insects which can complete your insect collection. Mining for ancient bones and fossils allows the player to collect and reassemble ancient creatures, such as this mammoth skeleton. Let's leave with some early multiplayer footage. Joining another player's team allows you to inherit their world, and you can then combine forces. We can see here the time of day syncing between players and trading items. Check out more details about the game and its development